So I think by the time people see this video, the news is probably out that we have indeed dropped our data rates pretty significantly, particularly at the high end. So if you are a Ting customer, it's very simple. You do nothing. Your bill's about to go down. If you have been looking at Ting, or if it's been a while since you've looked at Ting, please do come take a look at the rates page and do some math around how much you could be saving now. So I'll give you a bit of background on the price drop. So when we launched the service in 2012 and then we lowered our prices in 2014, we were really comfortable that just about everybody would save money on Ting. And we encouraged people to calculate your savings based on your current usage, come over, use the phone exactly as you do, and just about everybody would save a lot of money. Over the last couple of years, what's happened is really two things. One, data usage has gone way up as there are more exciting things to use data on the go, and then the second is the carriers have dropped their prices a bit. And now all of a sudden we found ourselves being thought of as the service that's great if you use very little data. And we hated that because we really wanted to appeal to a much broader group than that. So we went to our carriers and we pushed back and we said we need to be more competitive than this. We need to be more affordable. We want to save people more money, and they came through for us with a rate cut, and we pretty much passed that cut entirely on to our customers. I mentioned going to the carrier partners and pushing back on our wholesale rates for a couple of reasons. One is sort of a thank you to them. We've got great partners and we're grateful, and allows us to be able to offer such great rates. The second is I hate for people to think that we've been greedy all this time and that we could have always charged less. The truth is we really charge as little as we can. We price as aggressively as we can based on our costs, and we really needed for our costs to come down to be able to reduce our rates exactly as we did. One thing I'm really proud of, and I want to make sure people understand about this rate decrease, is how different it is from what people are used to seeing from cell phone services. So there's tons of promotion and noise in the category, and carriers are always coming out with new plans. But if you look closely, it's almost always a promotion or a plan that's intended to attract people to the service, and it's hardly ever giving anything to the customers who are already with the service, right? It's crafted so that you're spending as little as possible on the customers you already have and trying to get as many new ones as you can. With Ting and the way we do it, and the way we did it 2 years ago and the way we're doing it now, we simply dropped our prices. And so for people who are with Ting, your bill is going to be less immediately. And of course, if you're considering Ting, we just got a whole lot more attractive.
What they said, then why don't we take a look at some recent examples of black criminality from around the country. See if we can get a comment from those black San Diego activists about that.
Ms. Cole, I know you promised yesterday that you would be doing something today. Councilmember Cole.
Thank you, Council President. In light of the shootings the past couple of weeks, I held a Understanding, Healing, and Moving Forward community discussion on last Tuesday, July 19th. This is a series of discussions that we're having in the 4th Council District, inviting everyone to participate. What they did was express their fears and frustrations. It went a little beyond that. We had a group of young people that were not only disruptive, but disrespectful. And however, that was like the second hardest thing that I've ever done in my professional career, was to allow this, but we did, because I know that there was a lot on their minds, there was a lot on their hearts. And what they brought up, one of the things that they brought up was the racial profiling issue. That was something that, when asked, I said I support my community, but let me just tell you, what I want to do is make sure that we know there's more black on black shootings in our nation than ever before. 340 shootings and murders in Chicago the first 6 months, 120 shootings and murders in Memphis first 6 months, 28 homicides here in San Diego. Black on black crime is an issue, and that was never addressed. That's why when someone says, do you support do you think there's racial profiling? Yeah, because blacks are shooting blacks. So who did they stop? They're not going to stop a white male. They're not going to stop a Hispanic male or Asian. They're going to stop an African American.
Wow, it was interesting to see my old stomping grounds, the San Diego City Council, where I was a staff member for 2 years, many moons ago. Anyway, they're still up to the same old tricks. Community activists just come up and say things that aren't true. Nobody challenges them. In this case, the guy says, hey, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It's all a big coincidence that black crime is wildly out of proportion.
Jason killed, and 1 month later, no arrests have been made. 13 Action News reporter David Schumann talked to the victims' grandparents tonight as they continue the fight for justice.
The sun is setting, and Tony and Jeannie Lato are visiting their grandson.
I've been trying to come every day.
A cross stands as a temporary marker until the gravestone of Gianni Corsentino can be put in place. Days after his 18th birthday, Gianni was shot outside a gas station near Cactus in Bermuda.
In the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people.
It hasn't gotten easier for the grandparents who raised him like a son.
Very difficult for me to come here and see him knowing that he's down there and not up here with us.
It won't bring him back, but there is hope for justice. Here are the suspected killers caught on security camera.
There are warrants for the gentleman that...
The gentleman, you mean the thugs that murdered our grandson?
The Latos are confident the pair will be found.
There is someone in every state, every city looking for people who murder people.
Right.
While they wait, they talk. They talk the words that they'll never be able to say to Gianni again.
We will always love you and your memory, and it's so difficult for me. Anyways, rest in peace, G. I love you. Grandma loves you. That's all I have to say.
One of the last memories Tony and Jeannie have of Gianni is this. It's an autobiography he wrote as a final project before his high school graduation, and it's dedicated to his grandfather. Near Warm Springs and Eastern, David Schumann, 13 Action News.
Tracking breaking news out of southern Illinois. A Carbondale police officer shot overnight after a brief police chase. The suspects are still on the run this morning.
The trolls love to come on this page and say, hey, Colin, what about all the white mob violence at football games? For some reason, they always mention Ohio State University in Columbus. Well, Columbus is actually a center of black-on-white violence and denial, as we're about to see in this video. Here we see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the fellas surrounding a white kid. Hey, what's up? A lot of that going on. It seems pretty benign at first. Then watch what happens. Hey, this is a cool white dude. Let's let him go. How about a few fist bumps? Check you later. Guy walks down the street. Everybody's happy. Then somebody in the crowd, boy, I'd love to have a recording of that. Somebody in that little group said, hey, did we just let that white dude go without stealing his pants and sneakers? And then the other guy said, yeah, I think we did. Then they did the old Homer Simpson head slap. Don't. They rectified that by chasing him down, beating him, and taking his pants and sneakers and leaving him unconscious.
An unusual case for Rock Hill police. Shortly before 11 o'clock on a Thursday night, 2 men entered this McDonald's on Manchester Road. Not through the front door, but through the drive-through window. Police say one of the suspects was displaying a silver-colored handgun at the employees. One of the victims was pushed during the robbery, causing the victim to fall on the ground. The men were wearing hospital masks and sunglasses, and this isn't the first case of its kind. Last month, a group of men were caught on surveillance robbing 2 McDonald's in the same night. In Hazelwood, the first suspect is seen carrying a gun, pointing it at the employees, ordering them to open the safe. And back in April, a single-masked man jumped through the drive-through window of a McDonald's in Edwardsville and shot an employee in the leg during an attempted robbery. In this case, and the one in Rock Hill, no money was stolen.
Your car is stolen, cell phone on the front seat, and suddenly this pops up on your computer. Two teens on your phone in your car having the time of their lives.
We have some people around here that don't understand you're supposed to work for what you want.
No kidding.
Santa Claus ain't real.
As the boys used the phone, their video popped up on the family's computer. Police started sharing the video and hoped someone recognized the joyriding duo. But Mr. Grady is taking it one step further.
It's got me riding up and down the street doing a police job right now.
A suspicious neighbor called 911 when she saw 3 men wearing ski masks going into this home on Wooded Terrace Lane. When deputies arrived, they found the 3 guys inside. 2 were captured by the K-9 unit. The 3rd was hiding out in the attic, they say. Deputies tell us they had all broken into a home just 1 street over. And this is all the stolen merchandise. They were hiding it in the house. Large TVs, computer equipment, and other electronics. All of it taken from the neighbors.
New right now, Austin police say they have an arrest warrant for the man they believe shot multiple people on 6th Street, killing 1 woman. Officers first called Endicott McCrae a person of interest, but now want him on first-degree murder charges. When officers find him, he'll be held on a $2 million bond.
So how many dozens of examples of this happening recently do you want to see? You could find as many as you want. Just go to the YouTube page of any of 100 police departments in this country. Philadelphia, New Orleans, Houston, Baltimore, Washington, New York. It just keeps happening over and over and over, and there's never a white person to be found on the other end of a gun. You know, when I say in this case, never, that's actually kind of troll bait. Because I know somewhere in this great country of ours, somewhere, sometime, a white person is sticking up a convenience store. But I'm really kind of challenging the trolls to go produce that video and then say, yeah, see, Colin, white people do it too. When the proportio is hundreds and hundreds of hundreds to 1. I got a kick out of this guy. He stole as much money as he could. Then he went for the cigarettes. He went for the Newport menthols. You know, you ever watch that TV show Mad Men? I've only watched a little bit of it, so I don't really watch it. But I would watch it if they did a show about how some advertising genius X many years ago figured out a way to make black people love Newport menthol cigarettes. That is their brand.
This idea that America is somehow on the verge of collapse, this vision of violence and chaos everywhere, doesn't really jibe with the experience of most people.
Out in Winona, Minnesota,
data is now cheaper on Ting. From now on, prices look like this. Need more? It's just $10 a gig. That's what new customers pay. That's what current customers pay. It's simple. We like simple. See for yourself at ting.com/rates.